On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, they fixed it for 8 hours. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch JR Go, and like I said just 1 second ago, my truck went to CarMax. They fixed everything. I came back, picked it up, check engine light was off, and it turned right back on. Literally, just after a handful of ignition cycles, the check engine light came back. And in the fire truck video, a bunch of people were like, oh, so we're just gonna ignore the check engine light? No, we're not gonna ignore it, but honestly, it's not a big deal. I've been driving it with the check engine light on for months and months and months. Every time they fix it, it comes right back on. I'm not worried about it at all. They fixed everything else. There's no more trailer connected, trailer disconnected, trailer connected, trailer disconnected. I mean, all day long while I was driving, that was a nightmare. They replaced the whole wiring harness for the trailer, fifth wheel, plug set, all that stuff. There's a T harness in there. They put that in, didn't cost me anything. They fixed that ball joint, didn't cost, I think I paid the $250 deductible, but obviously they fixed everything on it for the 250 bucks, and they spent a bunch of money at Ford having them reprogram the ECU and stuff like that. Anyway, truck's perfect. I don't worry about that check engine light, but it's going back because I called them and I was like, hey, this lasted for 8 hours. You're getting the truck back, and if it needs an engine, I mean, come on, that's what we want here. I wanted to get a new engine. So it will be like literally one of the most expensive warranties of all time, up there with you know, a certain Range Rover status. But what we're gonna do today is scan this thing and figure out what the code is, because I want to know before it goes back. So we have the codes from before, and we'll know again what's going on with it before it goes back, and we can do our own troubleshooting here on the back end. So, great truck. 2018 F-250 Platinum, unlimited horsepower, unlimited torque. This truck is great. The only thing that kind of sucks is when the check engine light's on, it's in like a pseudo limp mode, not in a real limp mode, but it's really hard for it to like accelerate rapidly. And honestly, I just baby it around like an old man about 90% of the time, but every once in a while I want to pass somebody and I floor it and the truck's like, no, not today. So let's open up a new box. We have a new toy to scan this with. I'm very excited about it. Also, the old toy, the Autel Elite. Literally, the Autel Elite interface is being used to tune the R8 remotely. We finally have a tuner. I'll show you guys some of that here in a moment. But we have here a new Autel. This is the upgrade from my Autel Elite. This thing just came out. This is the MS909. It has a new VCI, a better programming interface, so we can do more cars. Help if I knew how to open a box.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, baby steps. Okay, open up this case. Oh, okay, I'm loving the black interface already. Yeah, man, that thing looks stunning. So the old interface is the J2534, and this one does a lot more. Compatible only with the Autel USB cable. Oh, Ethernet on this one. The old one did not have an Ethernet interface. Let's fire this thing up. It should already be charged. They typically do show up charged. Wow, look at this. Nice. This is way different than the Elite. Look, the stand, oh, the stand is better. I like that a lot. We've got this carbon look on the back. Camera, just like the old one had. It just looks way tougher. And what do we have here? Dual USB, a headphone port, SD, HDMI, another USB. Oh, these are USB 3s. Whoa! And then DC in for charging. Okay. Fire it up.
Oh man, the glare is terrible here, but that's great. I mean,
is it good? Okay.
Yeah.
We've got a new version of Android. Yes! Okay, so we need to add an internet connection and do some updates. Okay, the updates are installing on the new MS909. I've got that running in the background here. Let's look at what else is in this case. Obviously, we'll have some OBD cables in here. AC-DC adapter, main cable, USB 2, cigarette lighter, power, battery clip power, charger for the tablet, and of course the part we need, the typical OBD2 cable. Let's get that hooked up to the VCI. Plugging in our VCI. Beep. All right. Give it a second to connect here. Connected. Boom. All right, there we go. Auto detect. There's a new feature that's pretty cool. You can scan the VIN plate. instead of auto-detecting it from the OBD port. So that's nice. So this is the huge improvement to the 909. This is a map of all the modules in the vehicle. So cool. It tells you what CAN bus they're on: HS2 CAN, HS1 CAN, HS3, 4, MS2, MS CAN. The data bus is shown in the color that matches the CAN bus it's on. And we need to go to the engine, which is PCM, powertrain control module. And you click on it, and then you hit next. And then trouble codes. And we're key on, ignition off. Let's see what we've got here. Vehicle must be ready, and I'm sure it is. All right, here's our codes, and it's the same code we had before, P00BD. Mass airflow too high. And then we've got a 0170, which wasn't there before, fuel trim on bank 1. That could be caused by this mass airflow issue. Obviously, if you can't meter the air, how are you gonna meter the fuel correctly or inject the fuel correctly? Check it out, there's new buttons here. Intelligent diagnostics. Ah, it immediately pulls the TSBs? This is sick. Okay, the old one did not get me into troubleshooting like this that quickly. DTC analysis. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, this is so cool. Yeah, I don't think it's a damaged MAF, but I mean, that might be it'd be good to at least swap it back and forth with another one and see if it's changing anything. But there's the TSB from Ford. I think I posted it before. Oh, here we go, 6.7 mil. Yeah, reprogram PCM with scan tool and regen the DPF. So I know they actually just did that. I even have the receipts for them going to the dealership and doing all this. And of course it didn't fix it. So that seems like it might be a part problem. Or, you know, if they want to put an engine in it, I'm real cool with that. So that is the epic new MS909. This is sweet because it's got a whole lot of new troubleshooting stuff that will really help us knock this stuff out faster. And I am absolutely in love with the module map here. Oh, after you scan it, it shows the faults for each module. Fault scan, this will do the entire system. Oh, I have to put in more info. Technician, R, license plate, R. I'm not a shop, guys. I really want to be able to disable all this customer information stuff. Cool. So now, hopefully it's scanning every single module. There we go. That's so cool.
Oh, wow.
It has a scanning animation as it goes through each module. Man, that actually makes you want to scan this thing. There's our progress for the whole truck. Man. There's the gateway module up there that's communicating with all the CAN bus links and the OBD. That's so cool. Now, we're gonna take this back to CarMax.
Okay.
Another day.
Well, CarMax just called. Gabe and I are headed back to pick up my truck. They have diagnosed the problem. They said it's one of the integrated O-rings on the boost couplers, the boost piping on that thing. It's weird, it didn't sound like it had a boost leak or anything, but that would make sense for the codes that we're getting. So, Gabe and I are in my loaner, which this time is a, I have no idea what year this thing is, but a Mercedes S-Class. We got the old S550. Oh, 515. That's where we're at. This thing, here's a quick review of the S-Class. Power, wonderful, even though it could hit a little bit harder. Handling, really good. It changes directions very fast. Took it through my test track. I got it through there all...
15.
It is a 15, that's what I said.
15.
Yep. And I thought it was almost as fast as C7 base model. I mean, this thing makes like 500 horsepower or something wild. Audio system, 9.5 out of 10, almost perfection. It's got the Burmester in here, and man, it gets after that. The mid-bass truly is where the magic happens. Being able to reproduce good mid-bass is something Burmester does really well. It's got like subwoofers that are shaking your pant legs, and I mean, the volumes. Oh, it's so good. The dash, looking real dated here, S-Class. Of course, it's a floating dash, all LED backlit. But nowadays they have the massive screen and better backlighting, and just everything's better in the new S-Class. This one was good, but it could be better. Anything else? The headlight steering, very, 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 very good. I love how fast the headlights steer. Of course, they've replaced that with solid state and all the new ones, and they just turn on and off different LEDs. That's about it. It's comfy. The massage seats are okay. Here. That was 50. That was 50. I mean, that was like 25 to 50 in like 1 second. This thing is properly quick. I mean, S-Classes have always been monsters. This is a 550, of course. It's the big girl. It's not the AMG, but it's the big girl. It's good. Anyway, back to the truck, back to the Audi. So we're here to pick up the truck. It's been here basically overnight, and that's it. So that's new. That's never happened before. What on earth? Well, we opened the hood, of course, to throw the jump pack on it. CarMax is setting it all up. And of course, I was like, man, maybe it is a failed boost coupler. Sure is. Blue oil everywhere, too. All right, let's see if she starts. We got power now. Ready?
Yep. I can try to grab another jump box.
Yeah, if you have 2 of them.
Yeah, I'll go grab another one. Maybe put one on this battery.
Yeah,
so you can do.
it'll work.
I'll be right back.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
So we'll have thunder and lightning.
Thunder and lightning. We gotta have both jump boxes. Oh well, it happens. This thing's never had a single issue starting. And then of course, suddenly, come back after 1 day and it's done. You can see it's starting to leak around these caps. It's got the little inspection window. Should start right up.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. I knew it would work. She never lets me down. All the check engine lights in the world, it's fine. Well, that's the first time this thing has ever had the batteries die, and we wonder if it's because it was like sitting there while they were doing diags, and then I didn't like start it back up and drive it. That could have been it. It could have had a load sitting on it for an hour. I think they charge like an hour of diag time or something. Seems like 1 minute of diag time now that we open the hood. You know, all of us always start with a code read at this point, but like none of us opened the hood on this truck. We're like, well, it'll tell us what's wrong. You just like open the hood, giant leak. But that's just, you know, no matter what, if you're a mechanic at this point, you start with the scanner and see what's going on. So that explains a lot. An HHRSS, look at that. That's cool. Man, I love those cars. So we have the laptop all set up with the Autels programming module connected to the laptop via USB. And there's a PC component you can use as a scanner as well with that programming module. Well, Mraz from Boosted Euro thinks he's gonna be able to tune this thing. And he was like, if you have that module, we can hop in there and check out these Bosch ECUs and see if I can tune them. So we're waiting on him. He said a few more minutes, and he's gonna hop in here and take over. Pulling everything out of the ECUs. It's a wrap. It's fine. It's go time. We have here the first files to flash to the ECUs. There's 2 ECUs, of course. We're gonna flash them both with this file. Setting up right operation. I should have put this thing down because I don't want to move it. Fault. Okay, stay. These things like cannot go to sleep while this goes down. Here we go. The car is doing all kinds of things and it's very angry. Cooling fans. The last thing I needed was the cooling fan to run.
You know, this sounds like running up an aircraft.
It does.
When you're getting ready for...
It's a really nice cooling fan startup.
It is cool.
Very nice. I just hope it doesn't tank the battery voltage because, like, that would be very bad. We have a charger on it and everything. I just don't have the big snap-on charger that you need, the 300 amp one. I really need to buy that, like, right now. Because you should not be flashing cars on just a battery charger at 30 amps. You need 300 amps.
If you had to name these 2 ECUs, what would they be?
Broken right and broken left.
Dr. Quinn and Medicine Woman? Or
if we wanted us some wusses. One complete. I don't think I've ever been more scared in my life of this cooling fan running the battery down and it hitting like a minimum voltage and the right failing. And Mraz told me that writing this, because previously the ECUs have been written once and they wrote outside of the usable bounds of the ECUs, it might brick them. And that's totally a thing. If you put these ECUs on a bench, pull them apart, and then you put probes on them and you program them with like a serial programmer, you can program each individual like EEPROM or PROM or whatever's in there. You can write outside the limits of like where the OBD2 program sits and everything like that. This stuff's all pretty crazy, and there's a chance we might lose the ECUs. But he was like, if it happens, pull them out and ship them to me and I'll get them fixed on the bench. I really hope it doesn't happen. So here we go. I'm letting the charger charge this thing for a minute. I can't start it, I don't think, because obviously the ECUs are probably like out of version. Like the revisions are different right now. So I'm not gonna try to start it or anything. We're gonna let that charger run for a minute and then flash the second ECU. Well, battery voltage aside, it looks like that ECU bricked itself. The thing said it was a successful write. It said it had overwritten every hex location that it needed to. Cycled the ignition. I cycled the ignition, came back, went to read out ECU 2, and she's dead, Jim. It won't start at all. It won't even offer to crank. I hooked the other Autel up to it, the new one, got the old 909, and it shows me ECU 1 does not respond and ECU 2 responds perfectly. So I'm talking to Miraz now. We're gonna come up with a game plan. I think the game plan, unfortunately, is gonna be pulling the blades and the side covers out of here and setting the ECUs off. I really hope it's not, but yeah, no more R8. I was so excited. But the thing is, he can actually flash these on the bench and then send them back, and that'll give us a good starting point and the car will run again. So it's nice. It's not like it's gonna be a crazy ordeal, but it does involve taking much of the car back apart. There's grounds inside these blades, if you remember. There's like a ground here, and then a ground over there as well, and you have to take the fuel fill out, and over. There's a lot of work. But we'll get it done, and we'll get this car tuned. It's gonna happen no matter what. So, that is it for today, guys. There's your updates on the F-250's problems, which are obviously no big deal, and the R8 problems, which are obviously a little bit of a deal. It's no problem though. It all gets fixed. It's all just car parts. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com where you can get cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I'll talk to you next time. The interface on this thing is fire, and it's so fast. I'm in love with it. Also, there's Ethernet programming to that VCI, so you can like have the tablet on Wi-Fi and the VCI on Ethernet and walk around your shop and work on cars, or like walk over to somebody and collaborate with another tech instead of standing beside the VCI. That is super cool. And this tuning thing was super cool too until it failed. But Miraz said from the beginning, he's like, it's probably gonna break. Oh well. We're gonna get it. Now for the real test. Seems fine again. Weird.
I guess we gotta do it simultaneously.
Would you just look at it?